Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. Did you see the Trump Organization was convicted on 17 counts of tax fraud? Trevor Noah said, you know what that means? Donald Trump's going to prison to visit all the lower-ranking people that did this without his knowledge or his permission. Jimmy Kimmel said nothing ever happens to Donald Trump. He'll probably try to convince us he's never even heard of the Trump Organization. Colbert went with, what happened was top execs in the organization got around paying their fair share of taxes through a series of schemes that included off-the-books perks like luxury cars and free apartments, because nothing makes you look less guilty than giving all your execs a getaway car and a hideout. Trevor Noah wrapped up The Daily Show yesterday. I'll probably talk about that early next week. Here's a mistake. I'm going to first guess this one. Comedy Central executives have announced, starting on January 17th, you know who's going to host The Daily Show? Rotating hosts, and they're going to do this all the way until September. That's a mistake. Here, let me tell you who it's going to be. Your first host, Leslie Jones. Some of the other names mentioned: Al Franken, Sarah Silverman, Chelsea Handler, Wanda Sykes, D.L. Hughley, John Leguizamo, Cal Penn. Are you excited yet? Marlon Wayans. Roy Wood Jr. is believed he'll get a shot. They said current correspondents and contributors are set to be part of the anchor rotation as well. I think this is a mistake because viewers and listeners like regular habits, and if it's a different person and you have no idea who's sitting at the desk, you're going to break that bond with the audience. They should not do this. Chris McCarthy oversees Comedy Central and said, we're going to use the back half of the broadcast year, call it from now until June, to really experiment and try different things, and our goal would be to relaunch in the fall. We absolutely don't feel a need to rush into a decision. Yeah, no kidding. Showrunner Jen Flans said the roster of well-known celebrities should not be seen as a list of candidates auditioning to be a permanent host. She says anything is possible, but that's not the goal, and it's certainly not the intention. I'm excited to see people that may not ever want to sit at the desk 4 nights a week for years, but are interested in doing it for a week and hearing their point of view. And some of these people are people who probably have a lot of other things going on in their careers, but excited to take a week out and do the Daily Show for a week. Some of the guest anchors might not even do a week. Some might only do one night only. This is such a mistake. Now, here, they'll get press because you could have, I don't know, Sarah Silverman host the show for a night, and you can put a press release and the Hollywood Reporter will pick it up and I'll read it and tell you about it and they'll get press. But I don't think people are going to come back night after night for random hosts. You build a bond with the host. But wait, there's more. McCarthy and Flans say they haven't yet decided to stick with the Daily Show single anchor format or evolve into something different like co-anchors, similar to Jost and Che, or maybe multiple co-hosts like CBS Mornings and Good Morning America. No. Find someone funny, a person, and put a person behind the desk. Don't break the show. McCarthy says we're wide open to really any number of ideas. I think it has to be creatively driven, and it has to be talent first. Flans says the idea of moving away from a solo anchor is exciting to her. Some of my favorite pieces we've ever done on the show are when the correspondents interact with each other. I think there's something to be said for having a conversation rather than just one person telling you things. Then make a new show. That's not what The Daily Show is. Oh my goodness. McCarthy and Flans caution against reading too much into their openness to a different format. Too late, guys. Flans says, listen, one person has worked for us for a very long time. Flans is now in her 25th year at The Daily Show. Yeah, do that, she says. I think there's a lot of options, and the exciting thing about this time is that it's blown the whole thing wide open again, and we can experiment. You're going to kill the show doing this. Caroline's Comedy Club in New York City closing. After the New Year's Eve show, Caroline Hirsch told the Post, I did not renew my lease. New Year's Eve will be our last night. Caroline said, although business rebounded since the pandemic, the venue's 10-year lease at 757th Avenue is due for a rent, quote, reset at the end of the year, and my landlord felt they can get a lot more for the space. The New York Post shared the space is owned by a Kuwaiti wealth fund doing business as Foster Lane Management. Caroline told the Post, this is heart-stabbing for me. I love my staff. I love my comedians. I'm on to something new. I see this not as the end of Caroline's, but a new chapter continuing to produce world-class comedy. Many people suspect that means the New York Comedy Festival, which she has produced the last few years. Back in my SiriusXM days, I had a very good relationship with that club. I wish everyone there well. Best to you, Caroline. Best to you, Greg Charles. A quick horrible story, then I'll get back to the fun part of the show. From the Hollywood Reporter, 5 women are suing Bill Cosby and multiple companies involved with The Cosby Show under a New York law that temporarily has suspended the statute of limitations on sexual assault claims. This lawsuit alleges that the companies facilitated sexual assault by bestowing Bill Cosby with power or the appearance of power at The Cosby Show and beyond. The lawsuit claims they knew or should have known that Cosby was sexually abusing, assaulting, and or battering women, including on their premises, but did nothing to stop it, and profited from the public perception that he was America's dad. I've been watching more comedy specials. I watched Sebastian Maniscalco's new special. I made it 12 minutes in. It's not good. There, I said it. It's not good. I wanted it to be good. Was excited for it. It's not good. So I switched over to Nick Kroll's special. This one came out earlier in the year. And Netflix was like, you never watched this one. I was like, oh yeah, thanks, Netflix. Pretty good. Pretty good. It will make my end of the year list somewhere around David Spade's special. I think David Spade's special was a little better than Kroll, but I like Kroll a lot. I never noticed how much vocally he sounds like Jim Gaffigan with a faster delivery. And on the upcoming weekend shows, which I have already recorded, you'll hear me saying I haven't seen Earthquake Special yet. Future me is lying to you because I have seen Earthquake Special. It's fine. One of the lists I'm going to read to you over the weekend says it's the funniest special of the year. No, it's not. No. It's funny enough. Like a lot of the specials I've been talking about this week. It's funny if you want to sit on the couch and giggle for an hour. Yes, it's not really aspirational, just shucking jokes. But where it lost me is I'm going to use the word hack, a hack bit about going to see the proctologist. When you get that exam and the doctor sticks a finger up your butt and you get to be all homophobic in your routine and all the men in the audience get to chuckle and you get to make a face because you don't want a finger in the butt. Have you ever heard that bit? You have. Earthquake did his version. I was like, no, thanks. I'm out. The People's Choice Awards came and went. Yeah. Did you watch? No, you didn't. Let's see the Comedy Awards. The Comedy Movie of 2022. The nominees were Fire Island, Hustle, Hocus Pocus 2, Marry Me, Senior Year, The Lost City, Ticket to Paradise. But the Comedy Movie of 2022, according to the people, have chosen The Adam Project. The Comedy Movie Star of 2022. Nominees: Channing Tatum for The Lost City, Jennifer Garner for The Adam Project, Jennifer Lopez for Marry Me, Julia Roberts for Ticket to Paradise, Queen Latifah for Hustle, Ryan Reynolds, The Adam Project, Sandra Bullock, The Lost City. But your winner, Adam Sandler for his second best movie in his entire career, Hustle. The two best Adam Sandler movies in order. Number 1, Uncut Gems. Number 2, Hustle. Adam, you can do it. I know you choose not to. I get the Netflix paychecks are big. But you can do this, buddy. I've seen you do it twice now out of 3 movies. You can do this. Stop making crap, Adam Sandler. The Comedy Show of 2022, the nominees: Abbott Elementary, Black-ish, Only Murders in the Building, SNL, The Woman in the House Across the Street from the Girl in the Window, Young Rock, Young Sheldon. The winner: Never Have I Ever. Are you like, what's that? I was too. Do you hear us getting old together as I speak? Apparently it's a thing on Netflix the youths watch. The Comedy TV Star of 2022, the nominees: Bowen Yang, SNL, Dwayne Johnson, Young Rock, Kenan Thompson, SNL, Kristen Bell for The Woman in the House Across the Street, blah, 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 Maitreya Ramakrishnan for Never Have I Ever, Quinta Brunson, Abbott Elementary, Tracy Ellis Ross for Black-ish. Your winner, Selena Gomez, Only Murders in the Building. The Nighttime Talk Show of 2022. Your nominees: Kimmel, John Oliver, Seth, Trevor, Gordon, Colbert, Watch What Happens with Andy Cohen. The winner, The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. Yeah? All right. And our last People's Choice Award Comedy Department Comedy Act of 2022, Amy Schumer Whore Tour. I still hate the title of that tour. Chris Rock's Ego Death World Tour 2022. David Spade's Nothing Personal. Joe Coy Live from the LA Forum. Steve Martin and Martin Short, You Won't Believe What They Look Like Today. Wanda Sykes, Stand Out and LGBTQ plus celebration. Whitney Cummings, Jokes. But your winner is Kevin Hart, Reality Check. Have you joined the $2 Club? What's that, Johnny Mac? You go to buymeacoffee.com/dailycomedynews. You join the $2 Club, and then you're a member, and then once a month, it'll bag your credit card, and you'll send $2 to support the show. Buymeacoffee.com/dailycomedynews. $2 Club. Do it. Another way to support the show is become a premium subscriber on Apple Podcasts. Open up the Apple Podcasts app. Look for this show. They'll put the option under your nose. So what's this? For $5 a month, and the first month is free, you can get these shows early and ad-free. During the week, I usually post tomorrow's episode, if you know what I mean, at 4 p.m. Eastern or so. And the weekend episodes, I usually post Friday morning. So the premium subscribers, they've already got the weekend episodes. Just go to Apple Podcasts. They'll put it under your nose. Become a premium subscriber. Just for Last, Vancouver has announced their comedy festival lineup. A whole bunch of fests have announced their lineup. I don't want the podcast to just turn into me reading you lists, so I'll tell you about things like the Melbourne Festival, which you're probably not going to attend. It's a little far, so we'll do things like that next week. But Vancouver, this one is in February the 16th through the 25th, 10 days. Some of the shows, An Evening with the Office Ladies. Jenna Fisher and Angela Kinsey will be there, probably recording their podcast. Sarah Silverman, one of your many fill-in hosts on The Daily Show in 2023. Oh, they also credential her. I forgot this was a thing. She hosts TBS's Stupid Pet Tricks. Yes, she does. I forgot. Patton Oswalt will be there. Tim Dillon, Jack Whitehall, Sugar Sammy, Chris Distefano, Margaret Cho, Phil Rosenthal, Pete Holmes, Benito Skinner and Mary Beth Marone, Ari Shafir, Dan Soder, Joe Pera, Ryan Hamilton, Sarah Sherman, Jared Freed, Basim Youssef, Nick Thune, Adam Pally, Hannah Berner, Steve Ranazizi, Joe DeRosa, Steph Tolive, Baron Vaughn, Gianmarco Ceresi. He's fantastic. And I haven't read you all the names. So that's the Vancouver Comedy Festival. I'm sure we'll talk about that when February rolls around. Ramesh Ranganathan, who I've been talking about this week because I watched his special on Netflix last weekend. He's coming to New York City. He'll play Town Hall on January 28th. I didn't realize all his credentials. He apparently hosts the award-winning podcast Hip Hop Saved My Life and also co-hosts the hit podcast Wolf and Owl with comedy mate Tom Davis. I dropped episodes of that into my podcast app to check out. See, I learned things too doing this. Chris Titus, he's in Cheyenne tonight for the Comia Comedy Awards. This is a benefit show that will help raise money for the homeless. Chris Titus said, everybody thinks the homeless people are like, they don't want to work or this or that. That's not the case. 90% of them are mentally ill. And these guys at Comia are trying to fix the problem. Anybody who's trying to fix the problem, I like to help out. There'll be a red carpet dinner, awards, and comedy. Titus says there's a dehumanizing aspect to how people treat the homeless that it really bothers me. Nothing makes someone feel better than recognizing them and seeing them, and I think that's the problem we're seeing right now. Matt Lucas has announced his departure from the Great British Bake Off. He says he can no longer commit to the program's schedule. He's got other projects, including being a host on Sky Max's Fantasy Football League comedy chat show. He's been part of the Great British Bake Off since 2020. You Americans know this as the Great British Baking Show. His TV partner, Noel Fielding, has reacted to the news. Fielding thanked Lucas for 3 amazing years and reeled off everything he'd miss about his co-host. He said, I'll really miss your spark and huge smile in the tent, and I'll miss your kindness as a person, and to all the bakers, I will miss your sense of the absurd and your silliness. I'll miss all the times the 4 of us giggled together. I will miss your ability to turn into a fully formed character at the drop of a hat. I will miss you pretending to be Boris Johnson singing David Bowie songs, and I will miss your upbeat nature and positive vibes. Fielding said Lucas is a huge comic talent, but also a lovely man and a good friend. I wish you luck on your next adventure. Look forward to watching as a fan. See you in the real world soon, buddy. It's unclear who will replace Lucas. Last week, Magnus Ferrell, his dad's first name is Will. Magnus was playing a live show in San Diego for charity benefit. Magnus played a cover of Creep and 3 original songs. During the last original song, Back in Place, his dad, Will Ferrell, stormed on stage, cowbell in hand. The audience ate it up. Sounds like that was a lot of fun. Normal episodes all weekend. Tomorrow, I will dive into the New York Times list of top comedy specials. On Sunday, I will dive into the Los Angeles Times list of best comedy specials of the year. And that episode takes a sidebar into the question, what makes a comedy special special? Follow the show for free on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Join the $2 Club. See you tomorrow.